listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Welcome to the White Wall Sessions Radio. I'm your host, Dan Schaefer. On this week's episode, we feature Jeffery Messerole and the Stone Horses, Kid Dakota, and North by North. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter by searching the White Wall Sessions. We are now accepting submissions for Season 7. To submit, go to whitewallsessions.com. The White Wall Sessions would like to thank these fine sponsors for their support. Last Stop CD Shop, Bell Incorporated, Workplace IT Management, J. Rick Luthery, the University Center, Screen Flare, The Pink Moon Room, Club David, Great Outdoor Store, local branded convenience stores, Minuteman Press, Vishnu Bunny Tattoo and Piercing, and South Dakota Friends of Traditional Music. Jeffery Messerole is an award-winning songwriter hailing from the Great Lakes region of northwest Iowa. We had Jeffery for a solo session back in Season 4, where he brought his deep, powerful melodies and grit to that performance. This time, he brought along some friends, his band, the Stone Horses.
A little less, please. That's good there.
Their latest album, Greetings from Rock Bottom, drops in October of 2018. Jeffery Messerole and the Stone Horses are Jeffery Messerole, rhythm guitar, vocals, lyric, and composition; Tim Schroeder, drums and backup vocals; Brooks Begay, guitar and backup vocals; and Joseph Cafaro on bass.
Greetings from Rock Bottom.
My mother's mother took a train to the great and wild West Coast. Left a note for Grandpa Roy, say that she may not come home. Well, I cannot tell you when I will or if I ride that funeral train. But I took your gut for 10 long years, Roy, and I'm leaving behind my pain. So take these tickets to the train, give them to our girl. Out here they'll find a rich, rich man, pack their dresses and their pearls. I know we had some good times, but the bad we had a lot of. I'm sorry to leave you, Roy, down in Rock Bottom. Big money, and Roy, you have got none. I brought myself a brand new Chrysler and a new husband. So take these tickets to the train and give them to our girl. Out here they'll find a rich, rich man, pack their dresses and their pearls. I know we had some good time, but the bad we had a lot of. I'm sorry to leave you, Roy, down in Rock Bottom. Introduce yourself, Roy. short note just to tell her how he felt. Said, Maggie, it's been 16 years and each one felt like hell. Well, never once did I raise my hand or speak ill of my bride. But you've never seen a happier man as me the day you took that ride. So I tossed them tickets to the train. I'm keeping both our girls. Well, they won't end up like their mother, desperate for dress and pearls. I know we'll have some hard times, but the good we'll have a lot of. I'm sorry to leave you, Roy, down in rock bottom. But he signed it, greetings from rock bottom.
Thank you very much.
We're here at the White Wall Sessions with Jeffery Messerole and the Stone Horses. Welcome.
Hey, thank you so much for having us.
you.
So, Jeffery, you have been here before, but this time you loaded up the Winnebago and brought this amazing set of musicians.
Yeah. I had a blast last time I came, and it was just so well done and fun to work with you guys. And I've been working with these fellas now for, I think, maybe a little over a year, and we just got, a few nice set of songs polished up and ready to go.
Well, you picked a really good band, I got to say.
Thank you.
Can you introduce them for us?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Brooks Begay over here. He plays lead guitar.
Howdy.
Yeah. Mr. Tim Schroeder plays the drums.
Hi, everybody.
And Joe Cafaro on the end there is the upright bass player.
And you're based out of Spirit Lake, Iowa?
We're based out of Cherokee now. I'm originally from Spirit Lake, but Brooks and I live in Cherokee, and then these guys are in some satellite locations, but mostly say we're from Cherokee.
So let's talk about the musicianship of this band, first of all. I mean, let's start with the rhythm section. I was talking about the bass. That is just automatic. I mean, and with the drums, have you guys been playing together for a while? Or
No. When Jordan asked asked me to play, and Joe's been playing for several different people, and we just mash well together, I think.
I'll say.
Our personalities get along well too, and that really helps us blend. You know, just enjoy each other's company and
we're
have a good
able to
time
read
together.
each other's movements and what's coming up next, and just, it works.
Yeah, definitely works. It's really tight. And so, Jordan, how'd you find that guitar player?
Well, when I came down to Cherokee, I've only lived there for a couple of years now, and as soon as I got into town and people found out that I was a musician, everybody told me that I had to find Brooks Begay. He was the best player in the whole town, and I had to find him, get hooked up with him, and do some work. And fortunately, I think when I moved in, he lived across the street from me.
Never told me that, Jordan.
Yeah. And just over the course of my first year and a half there in town, we just started getting together and playing things, and just really worked really well. He plays all kinds of different instruments. He does a lot of bass work for some other bands and stuff too, but we're real happy to have him on lead here. This last song is called The End Is Near.
Sick of methamphetamine. Y'all know I don't use it, so it won't get me. But I've heard tell of friends dying in the streets. Goddamn, this town, it used to be so clean. I mean, this dirt bag in his low rent through the middle of the night. Then that low-down good for nothing took his own life. The billboard up the road said live without fear, but the cardboard sign reads the end is near. You can never tell just when your time may come, but you can be sure I won't be another victim. Take control of the rain, whether you chase the ghost or take it straight to the vein. I mean, how you lay hands on a woman you love. Well, that poor man's coat has got you under his thumb. Up the road said live without fear, but the cardboard sign reads the end is near. You can never tell just when your time may come, but you can be damn sure I won't be another victim. Better than you. All contrary, you need to know it's true. You better watch your back for the boys in blue. I'm here to tell y'all tweet, 'cause your time is through. The billboard up the road said live without fear, but the cardboard sign reads the end is near. You can never tell just when your time may come, but you can be damn sure I won't be another victim.
Come on. Coming up after the break, Kid Dakota.
You're listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
Kid Dakota is the stage moniker of Darren Jackson from Belfast, South Dakota. Darren is a multi-instrumentalist, composer, engineer, teacher, and producer. He, accompanied by his good friend Justin Coronin, put on a stellar performance for us this season.
Take the ducks for a walk. Take the ducks for a walk around the block. At the whites and the blacks, at the lights and the darks, at the squirrels and the cats, they will bark. They don't discriminate. There's nothing that they yeah, they drink from plastic cups and eat up paper plates. They don't use silver spoons. Do you remember when we used to go? All the numbers that we used to know. But where has everybody gone? Please tell me, where did everybody go? They don't discriminate. There's nothing that they yeah, they drink from plastic cups I need a paper plate. Lay down your silver spoons in them. Do you remember when we used to go? All the numbers that we used to know. Do you remember when we used to go? All the numbers that we used to know. But where has everybody gone? Please tell me, where did everybody go? Whoa, where did everybody go? Whoa, where did everybody go? Take the dogs for a walk. Take the dogs for a walk. Take the dogs for a walk around the block. Thank you.
We're here at the White Wall Sessions with Kid Dakota. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Darren Jackson and Justin Corhonen. I said that right, didn't I?
You got it right.
Yep.
So, you've been playing for quite a while. When did you start sort of as Kid Dakota?
1998, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. That was when I came up with the name. I was living in Providence, Rhode Island, and Kid Rock was really popular at the time, and I was not a fan of Kid Rock, and I thought the name was ridiculous. So I thought it would be interesting and funny to have to sort of make a play of that name for my band name. And I thought, well, this is the most ridiculous thing, Kid Dakota, like it's so not rocking, like Kid Rock is like supposed to be, yeah, I'm Kid Rock,
Yeah.
and Kid Dakota was like, oh, geez, what a bummer.
he's trying, but he didn't quite get it.
Yeah, he's like, Kid Dakota, you should be like Kid New York or something.
Yeah.
Well, you're based out of Minneapolis, but the Dakota does come from somewhere because you grew up in South Dakota, right?
Yeah, I grew up in West River. So I left right after high school. I went to St. Olaf College, and that's how I ended up sort of living in Minneapolis at different times in my life, just because most of the people I met at college, ended up moving to Minneapolis. So it was just it was a well-worn path from St. Olaf to Minneapolis.
How many different players have been in Kid Dakota?
Let's see. Christopher McGuire was the original drummer. He was in 12 Rods. Zach Sally from Low played bass. Eric Applewick played bass. He was in Vicious Vicious and Tapes and Tapes. Ian Prince played drums. He plays in a band called Porcupine now with the bass player of Husker Du. Peter Leggett, who was a drummer. He plays in a band called High Respects in Minneapolis. Matthew Kazama, who plays in the Birthday Suits, he played drums.
That's quite a legacy.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Rustler, who played in a band called Spy Mob, which was Pharrell's backing band for a long time.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's probably been 10 to 15 people and now Justin. Justin's he's my other half now. It began as a 2-piece, and then it actually began as a 3-piece when I was playing in Providence. But I don't really count those years that much. We only played a couple shows. And the first real shows were in Minneapolis, and that was as a 2-piece. And for years it was a 2-piece. And then it became a 4-piece, and then a 3-piece, and then a 4-piece again, and now it's been back to a 2-piece.
Well, the 2-piece is really interesting. The dynamics are there. And Justin, the drums, I mean, your style is pretty cool. You're not just putting a beat down. You're really playing it as a color instrument, I think. Where did that come from? Have you always played that way?
I think I've always tried to. In all the different bands I played in over the years, I tried to make each song unique and not just be the same 2 and 4 kind of a thing. And in my younger years, I used to be a lot wilder with that. I thought the song was about the drums, and then as I got a little
drummers
older,
do.
And now as I've gotten a little older, I know that my part is where I should be and not where I always want to be.
This song is off our first album. It is called So Pretty.
Jesse, go Jesse, run, please make quick to the bad neighborhoods. There are ways for
Told you it was loud.
Coming up after the break, North by North.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.
North by North is a rock and roll duo who calls Chicago, Illinois home. Inspired by 70s psych and garage rock, they brought their crunchy guitar and drums to the White Wall and rocked the house. Their new album, Last Days of Magic, can be found on their Bandcamp page. North by North is Nate Gerard, guitar and vocals, and Kendra Blank, drums and vocals. We're here at the White Wall Sessions with North by North from Chicago, Illinois. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
We have Nate Gerard and Kendra Blank with us. This was a really fun set. I tell you what, this was really cool. We, you don't know what to expect with a two-piece, but boy, you really filled it out. Let's talk about being a two-piece, first of all.
Sure.
Was that by design, or did that just happen?
It sort of just happened. We started the band as a three-piece with sort of actually a non-traditional setup. It was me on guitar and vocals. Kendra was originally our keyboard player, and then we had just many drummers. Kendra would do all the bass lines and then, sort of emphasize the guitar on the keys. And we did that for a lot of years, like 4 years. Playing locally in Chicago and just doing like the weekend warrior type touring. And we wanted to tour full time, but it was just, really difficult to find someone who could commit the time. So we downsized to the two-piece. And Kendra's only been playing drums for a little over a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're a great drummer.
Thank you.
No,
you have to say that because I'm sitting right here.
No, I'm serious. That was some really
that.
good drumming. Because when you're a two-piece, the dynamics are so different. I mean, your guitar has to do a lot more, and the drums have to do a lot more.
Yeah.
You're not just keeping a beat. You're doing sort of, a color instrument. Talk about that.
Basically that's kind of what we're going for with the drum parts now is, we had a lot of drummers, mostly jazz musicians for the most part. And that brought a really interesting sort of dynamic to the music, but especially for the new songs that we're writing for this next album, the sort of punkier, a little bit scaled down kind of just to support the song seems to work better and is a lot more fun to play. So,
Sure.
So basically, the drums have to command not only sort of your eye because there's only two of us, but also your ear when you're hearing it. So,
And I definitely feel we're able to sort of feed off each other in terms of like energy in the live setting more because, traditionally the drums are, tucked in the back and then you've got a bass player over here and a guitarist over here, or whatever. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people have mentioned who saw us as a three-piece and are now seeing us as a two-piece is that we're bringing a lot more energy between us and like with our parts sort of meshing together. So,
you think of drummers, I think of Lee Von Helm often with the band, where he wasn't just, he was an instrument with as much melody as guitars were. You've got that, I think, but you've got a lot faster beat, so it's harder to do that.
yeah, sure.
So you've only been playing for a year?
About a year and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
I played percussion in school, middle school and high school, and then, but I always got stuck playing keys, playing organ or.
Are you talking about in school?
Yeah, in school.
You played like mallet instruments.
I played like mallet percussion. Yeah. I can't even remember. I was relegated to that because as the only girl on the drum line for most of that time, I was actually told that, well, you're a girl, so you have to do mallet percussion.
Yeah, you had a sexist
it made it
teacher.
it was easier to switch to keyboard first rather than to either full drum set or bass guitar, which we also tried, and that sort of thing. So in hindsight, I'm glad for being pushed to do that at the time. Screw you guys, but that's okay. So anyway.
So the bass, it's kind of like the Doors. The Doors bass player was Ray Manzarek's left hand. That's kind of what you are, right?
Yeah.
Was that out of necessity also, or did that just kind of happen?
That was kind of the original, like basically we needed something, as a three-piece, we needed something to cover the bass end, and essentially, the sort of the bass line riffs and stuff like that came out of that. So yes, it was on purpose, but not really. Like we weren't
out of necessity.
It was out of necessity. Yes.
Sure. Well, then also, Nate, the guitar. So a two-piece, there's a lot of room for freedom with the guitar, but it's also somewhat limiting because you have to be the rhythm and the lead and everything, right?
Yeah, definitely. I've always really admired more of the sort of like solid rhythm guitar players in terms of my personal idols, rather than just like constantly soloing or shredders or things like that. I think that it just I think that it works for what we're doing to keep it tasteful, and then have these little flourishes and these little hooks and riffs just kind of like creeping out in seemingly random places. And that's kind of my signature, I guess. I feel, if I could say I had one. So,
well, if you close your eyes, you could swear there's two guitar players up there.
Really?
Because you're doing so much. You're covering a lot of ground on that guitar.
Thank you.
And a lot of tone-wise also. When you go into those leads, I saw you had a pretty good-sized pedal board there. Did you have things set up on that?
Honestly, it's mostly just riding the volume knob and tone knob for whatever part of the song it suits. Usually, I mean, I have like, just the basic reverb, and I do have like an octave pedal that I use pretty heavily. But yeah, and then when I just need to kick it up a notch, I just kind of ride that volume knob and just crank it, and the amp does pretty much the rest. So
sure. that beautiful AC30.
Oh, I love the sound. I've had that amp for almost 10 years now. It's done the job for me. So.
The White Wall Sessions is recorded at Last Stop Studios in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and is produced by Spectrum Films Incorporated. Executive producers are Jeff Zuger, Doug Taylor, Greggy Johnson, and Jay Fishback. Head of broadcast is David Palmer. Associate producer is Mike Yeager. The White Wall Sessions Radio is produced and edited by Jeff Zuger. Audio recording and mixing by Kevin Phipps, Chad Conrad, August Dahlgren, and David Palmer. Scheduling and artist relations, Tom Eisner. Be sure to join us again next week. Same time, same place.
You are listening to the White Wall Sessions Radio.